Following is a fair main video. lavitzbass6666 does not own any of the rights to the content in this video except for my voice and my opinion. Please support the official release. Hello and welcome to the top 10 most overrated anime. Now before I start this list, remember, this is my list. There may be animes on here that you like, and trust me, I like a lot of these animes. A lot of them are in my top 10 favourite animes of all time. But the thing is, I don't believe they are as good as people let on. They're overrated, overhyped to the shit. So yeah, this is just what I believe, that people are always telling me to check out these animes or how great and awesome and epic and freaking fantastic they are, when really they're just mediocre. So just remember, this is my list. If you don't like it, make your own list or prove me wrong. Find something that's great about them and bloody just force it down my throat. I don't care, just comment. Alright, anyway, here we go. Number 10 is a kind of a combination between Naruto, Bleach, One Piece and Fullmetal Alchemist. These are long running shows that just seem to go on and on and on and on and on. I'm kind of gone beyond them now. I've watched all of them all the way through, well, up until the points that they're up to right now. And yeah, I just think, why are they still running? They're getting chock-a-block full of filler. It's wasting my time and my money and my effort. Why do I keep watching this show when really you have 10, 15 episodes and they'll have enough depth and complexity of one episode, maybe? And just things come up and just change randomly half the time. Like, look at Bleach. When they first started, no one could stand in the sky or fly or anything like that. Then all of a sudden, the Soul Society happens, and straight after that, everybody can fly. How did that happen? They never brought it up. They never used those powers prior. Naruto is just full of flashbacks and non-stop crap. One Piece just seems to go on for bloody ever. I watched like freaking 100, 150 episodes of that, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't stand it. And Fullmetal Alchemist, granted, that is an awesome show. In fact, all of these three and four shows are awesome. Problem is, I'm just gone beyond. I just can't hack them anymore. They're just the same old thing over and over, and I'm just sick of it. Okay, number 9. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but it is Cowboy Bebop. What can I say about this? Everybody seems to love this anime, and quite frankly, I found it tolerable. It was good enough to be, you know, maybe in my top 50, but that's about it. It probably wouldn't break the top 40. I just don't understand all the hype that's been given to this. Sure, for its time, it was good, but there were a lot of other great animes that were made around the same time, and quite frankly, they were better. Just stop bragging about how it's the greatest anime that's ever been. It was okay. It wasn't as epic as everybody keeps saying it is. It's just an average anime. And quite frankly, everybody keeps yakking on about how great the bloody music was. I'm not a jazz or freaking whatever the hell freaking type of music that was. I don't like that music. That might have sullied my impression of it, but quite frankly, it is completely overrated. Number 8, Code Geass. What can I say about this anime? It was good. I liked it. I watched the whole thing and I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I watched most of it back to back, which is probably the best way to watch an anime like this. And yet, when it ended, I'm like, yeah, that was an okay anime. That was good. I wasn't like, oh my god, it's so great. You know, I'm just like, it was okay. You know, I could talk about it. I remembered most of the characters, which is pretty rare for me. But quite frankly, I just did not enjoy it to the point that everybody was saying how great it was and it was going to ascend from on high and friggin' lead us to the promised land. It was just an okay anime. If it had a lot more mech fights and stuff like that, I might have gotten a little bit more interested in it, but quite frankly, a lot of it was boring. The exciting stuff was good, but the thing is, you know, I guess you got to take the good with the bad, but still, it had too much bad to the amount that was good in it. Number 7, Black Lagoon. Now, I like this show. While I was watching it, I found it really good. Bit boring, but pretty good most of the time. But then, 2 days after I'd watched it, because I watched it all back to back and found it, you know, pretty good. The thing is, after the back to back watch, 2-3 hours passed, day passed, I couldn't remember half the bloody show. None of it even stuck out in my memory. It was just a forgettable anime. While you're watching it, it's great. But once you finish watching it, it just pitters out in the memory and you can't even remember half the stuff. Like, you think back to Black Lagoon. What can you remember? The maid fight and maybe 1 or 2 people getting shot. And that's about it. That's all I can really remember of it. Can you remember any different? Because quite frankly, it is a very forgettable anime and extremely overhyped. Number 6, Darker Than Black. I won't lie, I really loved this show as well. But the thing is, I just don't believe it was as good as what people say it was. It was good for what it was, but then again, it wasn't that good. I liked the powers, I loved the concept. It was extremely good concept. And I wanted to keep watching because I wanted to see what happened next. But then, it wasn't what I was hoping for. I was expecting a little bit more of a mindfuckery and all of that, and it just wasn't. It was, yeah, everybody's like, it's so deep, it's so dark, it's so gritty, it's so awesome, and I'm just like, it was alright, that was about it. It wasn't, it was good, but it wasn't everything that it was built up to be, and for that I feel it let me down a bit. Number 5, Sword Art Online. Now, don't get me wrong, I like this anime, but there were a few drawbacks that I did not like. One, the fact that I had to watch it in subbed, which means I spend most of my time looking at the bottom of the screen and missing half of the action. That pisses me off, but I'm not going to hold that against it. The main reason why I find this show extremely overhyped is the second half of the show, or the second season, or whatever you want to call it, where they just fuck over the characters and destroy any and everything that they worked so hard for. And to me, that just pissed me off, and it kind of ruined the entire show for me. But if you take the first half of the show, yes, that is as good as everybody says it is. I loved even the filler episodes where, it was just all lovey-dovey crap and whatnot. I enjoyed that because it actually expanded on the characters, their personality and all that. The bits that people don't like, that's the stuff that I normally do like. But the thing is, the second half, they take a strong, independent character and turn him into a freaking caged bird, literally, and then they just ruin everything, and think they take everything out of the first part that was good and then just kind of ruin it. And to me, that destroyed it. So anybody who still hypes the crap out of it, go watch the second season and then see how much that hype holds up. It doesn't. Number 4, Neon Genesis Evangelion. What can I really say? First bit of the first series was good. I liked it. Monster of the Week, that's a good concept. You gotta love that concept. But then it goes, oh well, let's be as pretentious and fuckwittish as we can. What more do I need to say about this besides the fact that it just tries to treat everybody like a stupid idiot? And people will say, oh, you just don't get it, man. It's all deep and philosophical. What is there not to get? It is just pretentious crap. Even the movies, they tried to think, how many times have they redone the ending to try and make it palatable to the most people? I don't know, what's it on about, a fucking 10, 20 fucking times by now? No, it sucks. Overhyped as fuck. If they were stuck with the original concept of the Monster of the Week, they would have been fine. It would have been a good show. It might not have stood out as much, but it would have been good. Now it's just a bunch of overhyped, bullshit, pretentious crap. Number 3, Attack on Titan. Now, let me just say it right, I did like this anime. I did like it. In fact, it really holds up to a lot of the hype, but there's a few problems with it. One, I only can get a subbed version, which pisses me off, but that doesn't weigh in here at all. The main reason I feel this is overhyped is that it's forced epicness. Now, let me just kind of explain that to you. It's kind of like, like when Light opens up the bag of chip and he's like, I'll take a potato chip and eat it. And they play all that freaking God choir music and all of that. It's just someone eating a potato chip, and basically with this half the time it's someone talking and they've got the whole God choir in the background, and it's like, you guys are trying too hard. Now, I must say, the visuals are beautiful. It is a very visually appealing show, and the music is epic as hell. But a lot of the times, they're just trying to force it too much. They're trying too hard. They succeeded in a lot of scenes, but other times you could just tell they're trying too hard. And that was the biggest problem I found with it. Yeah, they tried too hard. They succeeded in making something good, but it was just too hyped and too much for them to live up to. Just like number 3, number 2 is a false epic show such as, well, it is Death Note. Now, I love Death Note. I love those kind of strategy mind game kind of things. That's kind of the way I think. I love when they're pitted against each other in a battle of wits. I love that kind of shit. That is my shit. And, I really like Death Note. It is probably one of my favorite animes of all time. But the thing is, way too overhyped. Everybody sucks at the death of L. Everybody friggin' mourns the death of Light. Well, I think they do. I don't, because, you know, personally I reckon Light was an awesome character and I agree with his views of the world entirely. But the thing is, they put all this God music and crazy shit when someone's eating a potato chip. They've got it all going nuts. When someone's freaking writing a name down, they play this God choir and make it seem epic when really it's just someone jotting a name down in a notebook. It's not that exciting. And now we come to the number one spot. Indeed, the reason I made this list. In fact, the only reason I made this list. And it is Hayao Miyazaki's entire body of work. Completely overhyped, completely crap, trying to hide the fact that he's creating the exact same story over and over and over again. Granted, there are a few exceptions. Howl's Moving Castle, Castle in the Sky. They're not so bad. I tolerated them, but they're really only a once-off watcher. They're just pretty much every one of them is the exact same story, just with different cutesy crap. And now, I like cutesy crap. It's kind of funny. I enjoy a lot of freaking animes that are all very colourful and energetic, but generally these are exactly the same story over and over again. There's very little change. Asshole parents, magical girl, shape-shifting main character. That's it. It's completely boring and repetitive, and every one of his movies suck ass. I'm not kidding. Just, you can spot the plot twist. You can spot the show changing. You know exactly. You watch 5 minutes of the show and you know exactly how everything's going to go out. I just reckon they're completely overhyped. I cannot stand half of his freaking movies, and I hate the other half. They're crap. Why can't people see that? They just go, oh, it's a Miyazaki movie. It must be freaking awesome. No. Miyazaki movies are crap. They're repetitive. They're exactly the same thing over and over and over again. They're the Transformers of anime. Well, now that you're all adequately pissed off at me, why not leave a comment in the comment box? And hey, if I get enough comments on certain animes, I will do a review for you guys, if you'd like that. Then I can explain myself a little bit more clarity with a little bit more time for each anime. But, you know, I'm only going to do that if people start commenting. So, yeah, comment away and I will make videos for you guys. But just remember, this is my opinion. No need to get personal. Remain logical, remain polite, and stay an anime fan, guys. And have a good one.
I have studied Machiavelli, Aristotle, Gabe and Plato, yet you still equate my intellect to that of a potato. This place would fall apart without my ever watchful eye. They might tell you I'm a half-wit, it's a great big bloody lie. So don't call me a moron, I'm super astute. There is no conundrum that my core cannot compute. No, don't call me a moron, you fostered balloon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon. My IQ's the infinite space from here to the moon.